UFC 327, Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg is this weekend. I'm going to be giving my fight predictions. This is an absolutely stacked card. I cannot wait for this. These fights, this card, top to bottom, stacked with great fights. So we're going to start off here with the first matchup that we're going to be looking at. Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. Francisco Prado kind of sucks. He's what? Let's see. I think he's 1-4 in the UFC so far, if I'm not mistaken. He's 1-4 in the UFC. Kind of buns. Charles Radke is going to come out. He's going to come out like a house of fire. He's going to be swinging hard. I see him getting a knockout, a TKO in the first or second round. I just don't think Francisco Prado is that good. Granted, the people he's losing to in the UFC are pretty solid. Jamie Malarkey, Zell Huber, Jake Matthews, Vrednikov, like these guys are good, but I'd say Charles Radke is along the same level as these guys. I don't foresee this going super long. I'm going to go with a Charles Radke knockout pretty early on, first or second round. Now, I will say Prado is a fairly technical striker, so if he is able to get this to a decision, he could possibly win a decision if Radke gasses out, which we know that he can. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm going to go with a Radke knockout on this one. Moving along here. Oh, nice. $7 billion company. Website doesn't work. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Luque's old, Gastelum's old and fat. This is going to be just two out of shape fat dudes going at. Actually, Luque's in great shape. I can't even say that. But Luque relies heavily on his power, I think. I don't think you're going to sub Gastelum, dude. He's got such a fat neck. You're not getting around that. You're not locking up an anaconda choke on him like we know Luque can do. I see this being these two dudes are just going to scrap. They're going to get in the pocket. They're going to hit hard. Gastelum hits hard. Luque hits hard, but you're not knocking Gastelum out. And he hasn't done well. Like, Gastelum's on a skid, if I'm not mistaken. 20-10. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. His losses recently, Sean Brady and Joe Pyfer, those aren't bad. Like, he is still an elite fighter. I'd say, like, the people he loses to, lost to Jack Hermanson. That's not a good one. He got heel hooked. I don't think Luque is heel hooking Kelvin Gastelum. I could see this being a scrap. These two dudes are just going to beat the shit out of each other, in my opinion. And again, same thing with Luque. The guys that he's losing to are the elite of the division, but he can get to a decision. Luque can get to a decision. I think if it goes that far, I think he's going to win. I think he's just going to do more damage over 3 rounds. His gas tank's going to be better. Kelvin Gastelum's fat. Like, this is up at 185. He's probably going to still miss weight by 5 pounds. If he does that, cut him. But I just see Luque doing more damage over 3 rounds, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm gonna go with a decision for Vicente Luque here. Moving up the card, we got Chris Padilla versus Markel Medeiros. This is gonna be a good scrap, I think. I think we could see a knockout in this one. Markel Medeiros and Chris Padilla are both undefeated in the UFC. I believe Chris Padilla is 4-0. Markel Medeiros is 4-0. I'm going to go with Chris Padilla on this one. I think Chris Padilla is going to be able to get a knockout. I think he's going to knock him out. I think that these two dudes, they're two prospects moving up the division, moving up that lightweight division. I don't foresee either of these guys being contenders in the future. They're just not great. But I think Chris Padilla, I don't know shit about either of these guys, I'm going to be honest. I know I've seen them fight, but I'm talking out of my ass. But I'm going with Chris Padilla, just based on his tapology. I mean, he beat Ismail Bonfim, Jai Herbert, Rong Zhu, like James Lontop. Those are really, really solid wins. I do think that if you're winning, yeah, I'm going with Chris Padilla on this one. I just think based on the names that I'm seeing that he's beaten, doing a bit of MMA math here, but like based on the names that he's beating, those far outweigh, an Austin Hubbard, if you're going to a split decision with Austin Hubbard, I'm going with Chris Padilla by knockout in round 2. I think that this will probably make it out of the first round. Chris Padilla is going to do a lot of damage in that first round. Like I said, I think these boys are going to scrap. But I think Chris Padilla is going to get it done by knockout. Moving along here. This is the fight I'm most excited for. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. Tatiana Suarez is going to blob Lupi Godinez. She's going to lay on top of her for 3 rounds, and she is going to win via control time, doing 0 damage, and this is going to be a stinker. However, props to the UFC for putting the women's fight very low down on the prelims and none others. Kind of love to see that. Granted, this is a 5 versus 9 matchup. Yeah, Tatiana Suarez is going to win this one. I mean, her wrestling and her grappling is just, it's just way better than Lupi Godinez, and I don't think that, like, we see this time and time again in women's MMA, when there's a better grappler, they win. Like, there's nothing, you can't out-muscle. I don't think Lupi Godinez is going to muscle her way back up to the feet and strike with Tatiana Suarez. I just don't see that happening. I do think that Tatiana Suarez is just going to blob her way to a victory here. She's going to take her down with like 4 minutes left in each round, lay on top of her in half guard, hit her with little noogie punches, and that's going to be that. So moving along here, Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic. I am very excited for this fight. I do think we're going to see Esteban Ribovic kind of just we know how he fights. This guy just takes damage and just throws. Like, this fight is going to be fun. I think that while it is on the feet, these guys are kind of like, Ribovic is just going to move forward. He's just going to move forward, throw his hooks, try to land on Gamrot, probably with good success. Mateusz Gamrot is not a good striker, as we've seen. He really is not great at standing with anybody. However, Gamrot is phenomenal in the wrestling. Like, he won his fight against Arman Tsarukyan purely based on his wrestling alone. Like, he was able to out-wrestle Arman Tsarukyan. Esteban Ribovic is nowhere near that level of grappling. So I foresee that Gamrot is probably just going to be taking Ribovic down, and he's just going to smudge him into the canvas. He's going to smudge him into the canvas, probably land some good ground and pound, and he's probably going to win this by just out-grappling Esteban Ribovic. Like, I don't foresee this going any other way. Ribovic, like I said, he's going to move forward on the feet. He's going to have his hands high. He's going to walk forward, swinging, and he's just going to whiff on a punch, and Gamrot's going to get to his legs, take him down. Like, he's not sprawling out on Gamrot, keeping this on the feet. I just don't see that happen. There's no way that happens. So I'm going to go with Mateusz Gamrot. Maybe by a ground and pound TKO. Like, I could see him getting him down, passing his guard, getting him out, and maybe just Ribovic rolls to his stomach, he gets flattened out, and Gamrot gets a TKO. Maybe not, he's not putting him out cold on the ground, but I could see that happening. Or he just holds him up against the cage with a body lock, knees to thigh. I don't think Ribovic has any way of winning this fight outside of fluking a KO, which is possible, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I just don't. Let's see if Ribovic has fought any grapplers, any good grapplers. Not really. Doesn't really look like it, but yeah, I just don't see this going any other way than a Gamrot decision or a late TKO, maybe a third round. Just too much cumulative damage type of TKO. Gamrot's going to get him down to the ground. He's going to be able to hold him down. And even if Ribovic gets back up, Gamrot's taking him down again. He's just going to Marab max him this fight. Like, he's going to keep taking him down. He's going to do more damage. He's going to have more control time. Ribovic is not winning this fight. As much as I would love to see it, I would love to see Ribovic just fluke a KO over Gamrot, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going with Gamrot by a third round ground and pound TKO. Moving along here, I'm excited for this fight. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. This will probably be a really good fight on the feet. There's going to be a lot of exciting striking because these are two really lanky, just explosive athletes on the feet with good striking. Like Randy Brown has really good striking. And Kevin Holland has not been looking too hot recently, I'm not going to lie. Before this video, I was thinking of taking Kevin Holland. He's 15-12 in the UFC. That's awful. I was thinking of taking Kevin Holland in this one, but I don't know anymore. I could see Kevin Holland getting a sub on Randy Brown. I think Kevin Holland might use his grappling in this one to his advantage because I don't think that he's going to be able to just stand in front of Randy Brown and land at will. I mean, Kevin Holland is a decent striker, but he has a propensity to get hurt on the feet. I mean, we see it in so many of these fights that he has. And Randy Brown is a good striker. Man, this is a tough one. I do think that Randy Brown is going to win. Wow, he's also 14-7. Good God. I think that Randy Brown is going to win a decision here. I think Randy Brown's going to take a decision here. I think this one's going to go to the distance, going to go the distance. I think Randy Brown will have him on the feet, definitely. I mean, he's got, let's see what the reach is here. I mean, Kevin Holland's got a 3-inch reach advantage, but I don't know. Randy Brown's just a better striker. He's a better striker. I do think if Kevin Holland can get this fight to the ground consistently, we might see a Kevin Holland sub. Like, he might lock something up. Maybe he might grab something. I don't know. Maybe he takes. No, he's not taking us back. We could see a fluke Kevin Holland armbar. I could actually. No, I'm completely changing my pick. Here's how this fight is gonna go. Randy Brown is gonna knock Kevin Holland down in like round 2. Just stick him with a right hand, knock him down. Kevin Holland is gonna go to his back, and then Randy Brown's gonna try and follow him down to the ground, and Kevin Holland's gonna throw up some bullshit armbar or something off of his back and sub him. That's what I think is gonna happen here. Who did he do that against? Gunnar Nelson? No, it wasn't Gunnar Nelson. Michaela Oleksiejczuk. That's exactly what happened in that Michaela Oleksiejczuk fight, and I do think that that is exactly what's going to happen here. Holland is going to go to the ground. He's going to hit his back after getting knocked down with some bullshit by Randy Brown, and then he is going to throw up some bullshit and like armbar Randy Brown. That's what I'm going with a round 1 armbar finish for Kevin Holland. I can just picture that happening in my head right now. But if it doesn't, Randy Brown's winning by decision. I just want to say that. Not fence sitting here. However, moving on. This fight, Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Bellator main event here to headline the prelims. I actually like this fight. I think this will be an interesting one. However, Patricio Pitbull sucks at MMA. He is not good at this sport that he plays. And I think that he is going to stand there, not move his head, and just stand and jab, and feinting the jab. And I think Aaron Pico is going to get this. I think Aaron Pico is going to get a knockout over Patricio Pitbull. Because Pitbull he's a decision merchant, right? Like, he just wins all of his fights by decision, and he is going to stand in the middle of the octagon. He's not going to move his head. He's not going to move forward. And I just think Aaron Pico, after his really embarrassing loss to Lerone Murphy, like just a dumbass sidestep spinning elbow, I think he wants to get it back. And we saw how aggressive he was in that fight moving forward, trying to knock Lerone Murphy out. And Lerone Murphy is good. Like, we've seen Lerone Murphy has elite striking. You cannot just rush forward at him and not have grave consequences. Granted, Lerone Murphy is just going to stand and do the same thing that Patricio Pitbull is going to do, except Lerone Murphy actually throws strikes. So I think that Aaron Pico is likely gonna be pressured. He's gonna be the one on the front foot, pressuring forward, trying to get a knockout, and I do think that he will. I think that he's gonna knock out Pitbull in the second round. On the feet, he's gonna knock him down. He's gonna follow up on the ground, get a TKO. I just don't think that Pitbull is that good. I really don't. And I think that Pico, while he might not be as technical and not as skilled, I do think that he is definitely going to be wanting to impose his will more than Pitbull. He's going to want this win more than Pitbull. Like, we've seen a couple Pitbull fights in the UFC now, and he just doesn't do anything. He just does not do anything. And I really think that Pico's going to want to get that loss back that he had against Lerone Murphy. Like, he wants to show that he's actually a good fighter. Like, I do think Pico is not that bad. I mean, he definitely has a lot of stuff he needs to clean up on the feet, but I think he's going to get it done. I think Pico's going to get it done by knockout in the second round. That's what I'm going with here. I am kind of excited for this fight, though, because this is going to be a silly one. This is already silly. Like, you have two dudes from Bellator who come over to the UFC, and now they're like, I think the loser of this gets cut. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think Dana is like, he's fed up with both of them. So he expected both of these guys to be like solid talent in the UFC, and they both just kind of stunk it up so far. I know Pitbull has a win over Dan Ige, but it's Dan Ige, so they're the same person anyway. Yeah, I think loser of this gets cut, and I think the loser of this is gonna be Pitbull, in my opinion. And good riddance to him. He sucks at MMA. So I'm gonna be hate watching Patricio Pitbull. I hope Aaron Pico gets it done. Moving on to the next fight. Cub Swanson's retirement fight against Nate Landwehr. Nate Landwehr always gives me the creeps. He looks odd. I don't like him. So I might be a little bit biased. I don't like Nate Landwehr. He looks like a freak. And I like Cub Swanson. So I am picking Cub Swanson in this one. Cub Swanson, he's old. Like, he's retiring. He's 42. Oh my God, I didn't know he was 42 years old. Landwehr's 37. He's old as shit too. So, like, yeah, man. Landwehr, though, kind of a glass cannon. I think he's getting knocked out. I think Cub Swanson hits hard, and he's gonna go after a KO. Like, this is his retirement fight. This is his moment. Like, he's gonna want to go out on a win here, and I do think he will, because he knows this is his last fight. He's probably putting a lot of work into this training camp. He's known he's been fighting Landwehr for a while. I think Landwehr is just not gonna be able to handle it when Cub Swanson moves forward, winging his hooks at him. I think Cub Swanson's gonna knock him out. I think we could see like a round one knockout here to open up the prelims. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I really like Cub Swanson, and I really will be extremely happy when he knocks out Nate Landwehr in his retirement fight. I'll be sad to see him go, but I'll be happy to see the way he goes out. I think he's getting this done by knockout. Nate Landwehr is a poo-poo head. He's ugly and weird looking, and I don't like him. I don't know why, but I don't like him. He's 5-5 in the UFC. He got TKO'd by Sherrier. He gets TKO'd by Doohoo Choi. He gets put in a crucifix. Like, Cub Swanson has decent grappling too. Like, I could see Cub Swanson getting a little TKO on the ground here maybe, but I don't know. I think Cub Swanson's getting it done by knockout in round 2. And this is a great fight to open up the prelims. We obviously had the loss of the Joshua Van fight, which I'll talk about in another video, but I think Cub Swanson gets it done. I'm excited for this fight. It'll be a fun one. Moving right along. Oh man, this is a guaranteed knockout. This fight is a guaranteed knockout. Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker, two dudes that hit hard as hell. with no chin whatsoever on either of these guys. But Dominic Reyes, man, this guy's good. Like, he is good, and he is an intelligent fighter. He's a very intelligent fighter. He can't take a punch to save his life, but he is an extreme, like, you remember, oh man, who was that against? I can't even remember right now. It was not his last fight, but the fight before that, the fight before the Alberg one, when he fought, Nikita Krylov. Just slides out of range and just nails him down the pipe with the right hand. Like, that was beautiful. That was a very high IQ move, and that's what I like about Dominic Reyes. Like, Johnny Walker is going to do some stupid-ass shit in this, like, guaranteed jumping, spinning, flying, upside-down, inverted head kick coming from Johnny Walker. But I just don't think that Dominic Reyes is stupid enough to get hit by any of the bullshit that Johnny Walker's going to do. Now, I do think that Johnny Walker's got good leg kicks. Like, we saw him against Zhang Ming Yang in his most recent fight. Like, he leg kicked TKO'd Zhang Ming Yang. But, I mean, I don't think that, I just don't see Dominic Reyes getting leg kicked TKO'd. And outside of that, like, I just don't think that Johnny Walker is smart. He's kind of dumb. He's a really low IQ fighter, and we know that about him. He's going to do something stupid in this fight. Like, he's going to move forward in a dumbass way, jumping and spinning. And I think Dominic Reyes is going to catch him when he's moving in. Like, he's going to, at a certain point, he's going to stop with all that dumb shit, right? And I do think that this will probably make it out of the first round, right? Because Johnny Walker's going to be doing some stupid shit. I think Dominic Reyes is going to do his best to stay safe. Johnny Walker's he's going to gas. He's going to gas out, and I do think that Dominic Reyes is going to catch him in the second round and knock him out. That being said, we could just see like a 3-second, like, Jorge Masvidal against Ben Askren flying knee KO over Dominic Reyes. Always a possibility when you do have Johnny Walker in the cage. Don't forget, Dominic Reyes is also made of glass and blubber and flab. But I just think that Dominic Reyes is the more intelligent fighter here, and I don't think he's going to get caught with something so stupid. Like, he's way more experienced in the octagon than Zhang Ming Yang is. He's way more experienced. He's not going to get leg kick TKO'd. Like, he knows how to check a leg kick. This guy beat John Jones, don't forget. Of course, we all know that. But Dominic Reyes is going to win this fight via TKO in the second round. I'm guaranteeing it. Moving along. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. Curtis Blades is going to win. Josh Hokett is untested. He's 8-0, and he's a big personality. And if he wins this fight, it would be awesome because we'll have a big personality at heavyweight. Somebody fun. But, I mean, the guys that he's beaten are just nowhere on the same level as Curtis. That's funny. On Tapology, they have the method of victory for Josh Hokett's last fight as retirement in round 1. Okay. But, like I was saying, Curtis Blades he's miles ahead of the people that Josh Hokett has fought to this point. And I don't think that Josh Hokett has the grappling or the wrestling necessary to be able to handle Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades is an elite level wrestler. He is a really good striker. And I think that on the feet, he's going to be able to maintain his distance. And Josh Hokett's a decent striker. Like, he will hit Curtis Blades, but he's not going to hit him hard enough to knock him out. Like, I don't think that that's happening, right? And I think that Curtis Blades will get him down to the ground, and I don't think Josh Hokett's going to be able to get up. And it's probably going to be early. Like, Blades is probably going to get him down like a minute or 2 minutes into this fight, and he's going to keep him there, and he's going to do a lot of damage because Curtis Blades hits fucking hard when he's on the ground. I think Curtis Blades is going to TKO him on the ground, probably in round 2. I think we're going to see a round 2 knockout from Blades here on the ground. Just he's going to do too much damage. And even looking at the weight here, right? Curtis Blades weighs in at 258. Hokit weighs in at 234. So he is going to have a bit of a speed advantage, I think, on the feet. But I just don't think that that's going to matter. Because I think, like, that weight advantage is going to really matter when this goes to the ground, which it will. Like, Hokit's not stuffing takedowns from Blades. I'm sorry. That's not happening. So when this fight hits the ground, Blades is just going to keep him there. He's going to do too much damage. Like, even if this makes it out of the first round, I think in the second round, the same thing's going to happen, and this fight's going to get stopped. Like, this is going to be one of those where Hokit's probably just going to be leaking out of his forehead and his nose, just all cut up, all bloodied up. I think Curtis Blades is just going to do too much damage. I think he's going to do too much damage on the ground. He's going to take him down. He's going to hold him down, beat him up on the ground. I think Blades gets it done in 2. Blades gets it done in 2 on the ground. And I'll be happy to see it, honestly. I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of Josh Hokit. Like, if he wins, and if he wins in impressive fashion, all right, you got it. You got it. Talk your shit, bro. Because now you're moving into elite company. Elite company, heavyweight division sucks. But you're moving into elite company in the heavyweight division. All right, you can talk your shit now. But the way he talks, like when he was on the Ariel Helwani podcast, that was corny as fuck. I'm not even going to lie. But I don't think he's going to win. I just don't. I think this is too much too early. I don't even think it's too early. I just don't think that Josh Hokit is at the level of Curtis Blades. Like, I think Josh Hokit could probably be a top 15, maybe a top 10, fringe top 10, like a 9 or a 10 in the heavyweight division. I don't think he's moving into that top 5. I just do not. Because Curtis Blades is ranked 6. Like, I don't think that Josh Hokit is at that level. Just don't. So, moving on. Our now co-main event. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa is making his UFC debut at 205. We have not seen Paulo Costa fight at light heavyweight, if I'm not mistaken. But Paulo Costa is going to have that lighter man's skill. He's going to be quick. He's going to be fast on the feet. And Paulo's a good striker. And man, do I want to pick Azamat by knockout because he just knocks everybody out. But who else other than fucking Paulo Costa to just spoil the fun of an undefeated prospect? I don't know who to pick on this one. I think, like, this is on the feet. Azamat's going to be doing more damage, in my opinion. At least to start out. Like, he hits hard. He hits really hard. We've not seen anybody do damage to Costa on the feet other than Israel Adesanya. Or, we've not seen anybody knock him out, right? Like, nobody's able to knock out Paulo Costa. And I just don't... I don't know. God, this is a tough one. This is really a tough one, right? Because Costa has fought... He's fought some hard hitters, right? But he's not fought anybody that hits as hard as Murzakanov does. If I'm being completely honest. So I do think that Costa is likely going to win a decision. I'm going to go with Costa via decision on this one. Because I think that his body kicks, his kicks in general, his head kicks, his body kicks, he's going to be able to keep a good bit of distance between him and Murzakanov. And he's going to be faster. Like, he's going to be sliding out of range. He's going to be dipping and slipping. I could just see Paulo Costa winning a decision here. Like, he just keeps Murzakanov at range with his kicks, does a little bit more damage on the feet. He's a little bit busier. I think he wins this one by decision. That being said, I would love to see a Murzakanov TKO. Just starch him on the feet. Can I go against Murzakanov? Can I really pick against him? I mean, this guy knocks everybody out. I mean, we didn't think he was knocking out Rakic. We didn't... But it's the same thing as the last one, dude. Like, I don't think Rakic is as good. Rakic has good kicks, though. Oh, man. No, I'm sticking with it. I think Costa gets it done on the feet. I think he does more damage. He keeps him at range with the kicks. He's faster than Murzakanov. I think he wins this one via decision. I think that this fight goes the distance. Again, mark my words here, though. Mirzakhanov may win. He might, if he wins, it's a first round knockout. I know that's I'm fence sitting this fight. It's a Costa decision or a Mirzakhanov round 1 TKO, in my opinion. But truthfully, I think that Costa is just a little bit too good of a striker, a little bit too good with his kicks. He's going to be a little bit too fast. He's going to have that lighter man skill. I just think that, like, he looked so good against Roman Kopylov. I'm not even going to lie. Like, he looked good. And I think up at 205, he's going to be able to get it done. Like, look at the flab here, man. Look at the flab. Look at the difference. But that's what's so annoying about Mirzakhanov. He looks like this and he just knocks everybody out, right? So I want Mirzakhanov to win by knockout, but I think that Costa is going to get it done with his quickness, with his lighter man skill, with his kicks, his body kicks, his head kicks. I think he wins a decision here. He's going to be taller. He's going to be leaner and faster, half an inch in reach. Like, I just think that he wins this one by decision. Moving on to this main event. Oh my God, am I excited for this main event. I have been looking forward to this fight for months, ever since this got announced. This is a good one. This is a really good one. And I am so excited to see this one because I'm a huge Yuri Prochazka fan, and I am obviously picking him to win by knockout, round 3. And here's why. Carlos Ulberg is stupid, and that's it. No. Carlos Ulberg is a great counter striker. Great counter striker. He's really fast, and he is exceptionally technical, but he has holes in his game. Every time, who was it that he was fighting? Volkan Ozdemir. You go back and watch that fight. Volkan Ozdemir is poo-poo. He sucks, right? He doesn't suck, but he's not that good, all right? He's not as good as Yuri, right? Definitely not as powerful, not as technical. And every single time that Volkan enters into range, Carlos Ulberg is chin up in the air, sliding back, throwing a left hook, moving out to his left. Sliding out of range, throwing a left hook, chin up on a silver platter. And it just pained me to watch Volkan. He would move into range and he had these opportunities. If he would have thrown more than 1 or 2 strikes, he could have caught Carlos Ulberg. And I'm sorry, if you're getting knocked out by Kennedy and Zechiku, no. Yuri is going to starch this kid. He is going to starch him. It is going to go the same way that every single Yuri Prochazka fight goes. Yuri is going to be getting his ass cooked in the first and second round. Like, he's going to try and do his... right? And he's just going to be getting punched and kicked the whole time. Leg kicked, body kicked, all that. But as soon as that starts happening, Yuri is just making reads. He's seeing how you react to his stupid feints. We see this in every fight. He does this in every single fight. You think he's going to lose, and then he just turns it on because Yuri knows. He knows that he is either getting knocked out or he is knocking you out. He is turning this into a scrap, into an absolute war, barn burner of a fight. And as soon as he enters that mode, as soon as he turns into Samurai Yuri, where he turns this into a fight and not an MMA match, you're cooked. Ulberg is cooked because Yuri is going to press him up against the cage. He's going to stand. He's not going to let him just escape out to his left every time. Yuri's going to stay in front of him. He's going to move laterally. He's going to hit him with his funky whatever the hell, right? Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yuri is going to kill him when this turns into a fight. Like, he is done. I promise you, Ulberg is losing this fight by a knockout in round 3 or 4. As soon as this fight turns into an actual scrap and Yuri enters that mode, we all know that mode I'm talking about where he turns into a true fighter and he turns it into a scrap, Ulberg is cooked. He does this to everybody, bro. He did it to Roundtree, right? Who are the other people that he's fought recently? He did it to Roundtree. He did it to Jamal Hill. He did it to Rakic. He did it to Teixeira. He did it to Dominic Reyes, right? He even has a win over Volkan Ozdemir by TKO. Oldberg couldn't TKO. All I'm saying. The only person in the UFC that can beat Yuri is Alex Pereira. That is the only person. You have to kill Yuri Prochazka in order to beat him. You have to have so much power in your hands that you are actually going to put this man out cold. And I don't think that Carlos Ulberg possesses that sort of power. I just don't. He's not the sort of fighter that Pereira is. Like, he is like a Pereira from Temu. He's a Pereira from Wish. He's not the sort of fighter that Pereira is. And I'm sorry, but it's just not. Like, Yuri's got a 3-inch advantage in reach, too. No. Prochazka's knocking him out. Yuri's knocking him out. We're gonna get a fire-ass let's go for that on the mic afterwards. And I am so excited to see Yuri get his belt back. I know that this is kind of like a second-place fight in this division now that Pereira's moved up. But, man, am I excited to see Yuri get his belt back. It's gonna be a knockout for Yuri. Mark my words. Round 3 or 4. I can't wait for this fight though, because either way, like, this is gonna turn into a scrap. Every Yuri fight is exciting. This man has never had a boring fight in his life, and that's not gonna change this time around. I just don't think Ulberg possesses the sort of power necessary to knock him out, and you have to knock out Yuri. He's not gonna sub him, obviously. If anything, I could see Yuri going to his grappling. I think he has a grappling advantage over Ulberg, and I don't think that would be a bad idea for him to try and take Ulberg down and do some damage on the ground, quite honestly. But I just think that Yuri is better when it comes to fighting. Ulberg is a more technical striker, and he does things correctly, right? But when it comes to fighting, it doesn't get better than Yuri. And I don't think that Ulberg can possibly win this, especially considering, right, how he lost to Nzechukwu. And I understand, when was this fight? This was 2021. Like, this was 5 years ago. And obviously he's improved since then, but, like, he has a lot of the same tendencies that allowed him to get knocked out by Nzechukwu, getting pushed up against the fence. Yuri's going to do that to him. And if you're getting knocked out by Kennedy fucking Nzechukwu, you're getting knocked out by Yuri Prochazka. I'm sorry. So that's it for this video. Yuri's winning. I'm so excited. These fights go down on Saturday in Miami. Tune in and watch the fights. I'll do a recap and a breakdown after the fact, but that's all I got for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.